Still testing. You gotta be patient with it. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Y'all will. Y'all will. I think we good.
Right.
Are we good?
I think so.
I don't know. You load it up a little bit.
That probably might just be a laptop. You know what I mean?
We should have watched the video from the phone.
You got your phone?
Yeah. Let me take it out.
No. We know it's going.
Oh,
I got to step out. Let's see how it sounds. TikTok.
Testing. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get it together. Y'all be patient with us. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time trying to stream, doing the YouTube live and getting the classes together, but we do want y'all to be able to chew on some of these classes and get some of this doctrine, get some of this, you know, some of this bread. And so we just trying to figure this whole thing out. Trying not to pick up the serpent. That's the problem too, man. We may have to go ahead and pick up that serpent called Comcast. May have to go and do it. Trying not to do it, but might you have to pick the serpent up. Might you have to deal with that serpent. But you know, it's part of the process. So just give us a time and trying to test this thing, see if it's on point. And if it is, we'll go ahead and do a class. If not, we'll have to come back with some Comcast technicians and a bill.
Sounded good.
Okay. So we're gonna try to do the class. We're gonna try to go ahead and try the class out.
I'm trying to get this chat. Let me see if I can see the chat.
I think the left it the other way. Now you can't see nothing like that.
Up here?
Can't see us.
You want to see us?
Yeah, see if it's lagging, I guess. I don't know. See, nah, go back. Yeah, just leave it like that. So you see the chat up there.
Right.
All right, man. Look, crispy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, we appreciate y'all patience. Mic check.
Testing.
All right.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. Like I said, this is first of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatam. And
all praises,
we're just glad that we're doing the work. Brothers is still doing the work, remaining faithful, and the show must still go on. We're still going to go out and do these classes like we're supposed to, like we're commanded to. And we're just gonna go over a few before we even get straight into it. Like I guess you see in the title, "Who's signing your check?" We're gonna go into the scriptures, man, and see who's signing your check, basically. But before we hit that breakdown, we're gonna go over some current events that's going on right now. Go ahead and bring that out for us, brother.
I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me stand up, see if I can get that. See if y'all can see that. Oh, so I get y'all. If y'all can see that.
I'll get it done.
Atlanta's home price rise outpaces the wages. Everybody want to move to Atlanta, and this is the result. This is the result. California on fire. Everybody trying to make this the new Hollywood, just the new home of the demons, just the new Holly Tree, just the new Sodom. It says here in 2000, from 2012 to now, the prices have went up 76%, 76.7%. That would mean, and then the median Atlanta home price right now is $250,000. It's 200. The average house right now in Atlanta costs $250,000.
If you want to own a home, basically, not rent, we're not talking about renting a home. We're not talking about. We're talking about if you want to buy a house for your children, for you, it's going to cost you $250,000.
And I'm gonna say this too, man. First time home buyers usually get around 125, 150. Which means you're probably not gonna get no home. Well, you're not gonna get no average home. Probably get a well below average home for about 125, 150. Something you might have to put some work into. Something you gotta put your life into.
And a $250,000 sounds like a mansion, man. Like you should be living in like a pretty, like a 6-bedroom, 5-bedroom. It's 2018. You wasn't paying $250,000 for an average house in 2007 and 2006, man.
2007 to 2012, it was down 39.5%. This is crazy. From 1997 to 2007, it was up 59.4%, and from 2007 to 2012, it was down 39.5%. And I think that was due to that bubble. I think that bubble happened like in 10,
right.
when that housing market burst and everything kind of went into turmoil.
Right.
But Atlanta home prices, man, you're not, and this thing is going to continue to get worse. It's going to get harder and harder to make a living out here. It's going to be harder and harder. You're going to start more people now are entering into the boarding rooms, where they renting boarding houses. They just renting the room out, paying $175 a week, and then that's $175 a week. That's almost $800 to get a boarding room. It's going to continue to get harder and harder. So, you know what I'm saying, you wanna get around like-minded people and try to build your credit, man, and play straight ball, man. Clean yourself up, man. Clean your finances up. You may have to cut some things, may have to mortify some things, you know what I'm saying? Mortify some of your entertainment. And because things are gonna get harder out here. This price hike, this is pretty much like 13% every year. And then not only are the houses, but the rent is also affected by this. The rent is also affected by this.
Right. Let me get down right there.
So I can say one more thing. I remember staying in some houses over there on Juliet and Central Drive, 1-bedroom for $500. 2 bedrooms. I had a 2-bedroom Central that was $500. That same 2-bedroom, 7 years later, 8 years later, it's now $900. It's twice the price. Twice the price. Same projects. It's still in the hood, man. People still getting killed, gunned down. People still got, you know what I'm saying? You can't sleep at night, gunshots everywhere. Same neighborhood. They painted the outside twice the price. Twice the price. So now you won't have to pay. You want to pay a band for a cheap 1-bedroom. That's a cheap 1-bedroom now in Atlanta. That's all I want to say.
Something else we dealing with in the news. Like I said, I don't know if y'all can see that, but farmers markets. Go ahead and hold that up for a while. Basically, what you got going is that these farmers markets that people like to buy from and stuff like that. The markets are actually going out of business. Meaning you won't be able to buy no fresh food no more. You're gonna go straight to GMO, straight to just eating crap, basically. And the reason why that's happening because these processing companies that deal with the credit cards and the stuff like that, they're not accepting no more SNAP. Basically, that's EBT and government assistance and stuff like that. They're not accepting that no more. So you won't be able to swipe your EBT card at the farmer's market to get some fresh food. That's gonna be cut out. So and the farmers market relied heavily on that. Our people usually shop there. They relied on that basically, and the fact that they're not getting that no more is going to be putting a lot of them out of business, and it's very risky because prices might go up. You know what I'm saying? You're being forced to another store to get the GMO. They're going to profit off of that. You're not going to be able to. It's a famine. It's going to be a famine on a lot of stuff out here. And fresh food is one of them, man. You're going to be eating GMO, something they grew in the lab, something they seedless, watermelon, seedless, grapes, no life in them. You see what I'm saying? And that's what our people's heading to. And the reason why they're really doing that, they want to force the reason why you see these Krogers and these Sam's Clubs closing down, they're forcing everybody to Walmart. They're forcing everybody to Walmart. Walmart is not a, you can't just go and open up a Walmart. It's basically government owned. They became the biggest superstore in the whole world within 20 years. That's all by God. So usually when we reach upon these last days, what's going to happen is, since Walmart is not owned by an owner, it is usually owned by the government. They're going to force everybody so they can't do kicking or anything like that. You're going to be getting rashes. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be forced to shop at Walmart. They're going to be controlling you that way, basically. And that's why you see these things happening with the Fresh Market, the Sam's Clubs, the Krogers. Everybody already kind of knows Walmart is basically owned by government, and they're really forcing us there, and you can see it in the current news today. But with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the lesson, man. What we're going to be dealing with today is who is signing your check. Who is signing your check, right? We all know when you get a check, that means you work for something and you're getting a payout. That's what a check is. You're earning something that you work for, right? Who's signing your check? And when we're dealing with these precepts, you're gonna have a vision. You're gonna have a agnosis on who's signing your check. Rather, that's going to be the Most High, or it's going to be Satan, the devil. Payout. So we're going to be dealing with that today. Let's go ahead and start off precept Colossians 3:24. Who is signing your check? Because like I said, brothers in this truth, sisters in this truth, we got to understand what the truth is about. We got to understand what the works is about. We got to understand how we're supposed to be conducting ourselves in this truth and how we're supposed to be rolling out, basically. And every time we bring out a class at Prince of Power, we see that it's gonna be a class that help you get your salvation and step closer to the kingdom. We're not here kind of for the deep breakdowns, or rather the earth is flat and stuff like that. We're just here to try to get our people on the right path. And that's what we're doing at School of Yeshua. We give them that knowledge, that understanding that's going to help you with your salvation. Because it's better to keep the commandments than to know all this knowledge. I think that's said in Matthews. But let's go ahead and go to Colossians 3:24. Bring that out.
23.
23. It started 23.
Colossians chapter 3, 3, verse 23.
Go ahead.
And whatsoever you do,
Whatever you do, whatever you do, right? Go ahead.
do it heartily.
Do it what?
Heartily.
So you do it heartily, meaning you got to put some effort behind it, man. Some passion behind it. Like you playing Xbox all day, trying to build up your 2K character, you do that heartily. You putting in hours behind that game. You should do the same with this truth. Put it in heartedly, man. Put passion, some work behind it, some seriousness behind it. Go ahead.
As to the Lord,
Uh-huh.
and not unto men.
Wait, it said do it heartily as to who?
As to the Lord.
As to Yahweh shot and not unto who?
And not unto men.
And not unto men. We're not out here working for man. Yes, we in captivity, but our whole purpose on this earth is to work for Yahweh. We are a servant to Yahweh, a slave to the Most High God, man. We're supposed to present ourselves as living sacrifice. That's the work that you put in. That's the work, the faith that you put in within this truth. Go ahead.
Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance.
You're going to receive what?
You shall receive the reward of the inheritance.
Knowing that you're going to receive the reward of the inheritance. That inheritance is the kingdom of heaven. Rulership over this earth. That's your inheritance. But you got to work for that. It's not something that's just given. You have to work for it. Go ahead.
For ye serve the Lord Yahweh.
For you serve the Lord Yahweh. Continue on.
But he that doeth wrong.
But he that doeth wrong, that's not following the commandment, that's not following this Bible, that choose to go off their own lust and their own understanding, they're going the wrong way. Go ahead.
Shall receive for the wrong which he have done.
So he that receiveth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. There is a payout for that. You're going to receive what you have done wrong. You're going to receive what you work for. Go ahead.
And there is no respect of persons.
Go ahead.
Masters.
That's all I want in that. That's all I want. Give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. So basically, we just read in Colossians, we just read about if you do the work of Yahweh, you're going to receive the inheritance. That's your payout. But if you do wrong, you're going to receive what you have done wrong. Meaning that's going to be your payout. And we're going to go into the scriptures on how that plays out and what that actually means. What you when you do wrong and when you do right, righteousness. But give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do.
Whatsoever your hand findeth to do, whatever you're doing, whatever you're working for, and it should be for this truth. Whatever you do in this truth, go ahead.
Do it with thy might.
Do it with what?
With thy might.
With your might. Meaning you got to put effort behind your works, man. You got to put effort behind your sacrifice. Your living sacrifice. You got to put yourself, you got to put effort defiling your mortifying your flesh. Or the Lord might not accept you as a sacrifice, man. You're supposed to be blemished. That means you're not supposed to have any errors in you, man. We're not supposed to be saying nothing about you. You should have nothing to say about you, man. Nobody should be talking about you. You should be perfect in the eyes of the Most High God, man. That's what we out here working for, to be perfect in the eyes of the Most High God. And it said, whatsoever you find in your hand to do it with effort. Go ahead.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest.
There's no work, none of. Basically, when you dead, you're not gonna be able to do nothing, bro. That's it. You're gonna be judged on the things that you do on this earth. So that's why it's important to us to do the things now and put up effort now, and make our bodies as a living sacrifice, so we can go into the kingdom. Give me 2 Chronicles chapter 34 and verse 12. 2 Chronicles 34 and verse 12.
2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 12. And the men did the work faithfully.
They did the work. What?
Faithfully.
The men did the work faithfully, man. You got to do this work faithfully. You got to understand that your faith without works is dead. You doing this work faithfully shows your faith, man. And brothers did the work faithfully, man. They did the work. They put in the work. Brothers don't want to put in the work, man. They don't want to do the breakdowns. They don't want to go in their Bibles and study. They don't like reading, man. Come on now. Brothers do not want to do the work in this truth. They don't want to have to come up here to the Shabbat class. They don't want to have to come up here to the weekly class. They don't want to have to mortify their deeds, their flesh. They don't want to have to kill themselves, man. Brothers is not willing to do that. That's too much. It's too much work for them, man. You got a precept? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13.
Go ahead.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath,
Right.
from doing thy pleasure on my holy day,
Right.
and call the Sabbath a delight.
You're supposed to do what?
Call the Sabbath a
The
delight.
Sabbath is supposed to be a delight, man. A delight is when you have joy, like you got something. You're supposed to have the Sabbath as a delight, as your joy. Like you can't wait for the Sabbath to come. But you know what was wrong with brothers? Brothers, we can't wait for the Sabbath to end, man. It's not a delight to them. I can't wait till that sun go down. I can't wait till I go get some food when that sun go down. I can't wait till I go back in the world when that sun go down, man. They don't make the Sabbath their delight. Go ahead.
The holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways,
So you're not doing your own ways on the Sabbath. Go ahead.
nor finding thy own pleasure.
So you're not supposed to find your own pleasure on the Sabbath. What you do weekly is what your pleasure is. Do not do that on the Sabbath, man. The Sabbath is supposed to be to the Most High God. You're supposed to gather with your brothers. You're supposed to rest. You're supposed to uplift one another. Uplifting is not just when you tell somebody they look good today. Uplifting is not telling somebody, oh, you know, your shoes look nice, or that's a strong shalom you got there, or there's some nice fringes. That's not uplifting your brother. Uplifting your brothers is when you're trying to get him to come out his ways, man. When you're trying to get him to a better spot, better to who he is. Because once you uplift your brother's gotta exceed who he used to be. That's what it means to uplift somebody, man.
Shalaki, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Also, you can't get better unless you're around better players. If you're in the game, if you know anything about sports, if you've been on, unless you're around better players. Usually the better team has the better play. You're surrounded around better players. That's what's going to elevate you. When you're around more set-apart brothers than you that can lift you up, they can be that light, that example to lift you up. If you rehearse with them,
Right.
if you're practicing with them, if you're doing the righteous acts with them, the Judges 5:11, if you're doing that with them, they can be the ones to lift you up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you and the stronger the brothers are that you're around,
The stronger you'll get.
the stronger you'll get, and the quicker you'll get there.
That's what it means to uplift, man. That's what it means to uplift.
Still got some more on that.
Go ahead.
Nor speaking thine own words.
Don't speak in their own words. Go ahead.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh.
Wait, then you should what?
Then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh.
So once you take this set apart day and delight in the Sabbath, that's when you will learn to delight in Yahweh Shah. Learn to do and have the joy of Yahweh Shah of doing the word, doing the works. Go ahead.
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth.
So by doing this, you'll be able to inherit the kingdom, man. By keeping the simple Sabbath and delighting in it. Because with that, you'll be able to delight in Yahweh Shah. And with that, things will also follow behind. Like you read in the scriptures. You proving yourself to be worthy, man. You uplifting your brothers, and yourself so that you can get out your wicked deeds, get out your wicked ways, so you can be perfect in the eyes of the Most High God. That's the plan in here at School of Yesharu, man, to make ourselves upright, perfect. Go back to that 2 Chronicles 34 and 12. Now let's read that one more time, man.
2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 12. And the men did the work faithfully.
So you gotta do this work faithfully, man. Do not grow weary in this faith. Faithfully, man. Give me Colossians 2, Galatians 6 and 9. Galatians 6 and 9. Give me that.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 9.
Watch this. Go ahead.
Can I do 8?
Go ahead, do 8, man.
Colossians verse 6, verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh.
Wait. Read that one more time, man.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8.
Go ahead.
For he that soweth to his flesh.
He that soweth to his flesh. You sow into your flesh. We all know that you will reap what you sow. You sow into your flesh. You're doing the deeds of your flesh. You continue to smoke the cigarettes. You continue to go ahead and not celebrate the Sabbath, not celebrate the new moon, pouring out your women, defiling your temple, drinking alcohol all day. You don't want to gather together. You don't want to read the Bible. You don't want to precept your Bible. You don't want to do the work, basically. Go ahead.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall reap the flesh. Shalakia. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
You will reap what you sow. So if you choose to sow to your flesh, you will reap corruption. If you continue to sin, you will die, man. It's just that simple. And I'm gonna prove that, man. There ain't no such thing as no mercy being given. You gotta earn the mercy, man. We're already supposed to be dead. This is our second chance. We gotta earn that mercy, man. We already supposed to be out this thing. We're not supposed to be here. But through Yahweh shall we still here. So you gotta earn that mercy, man. You gotta stop sowing and stop sinning, because only with sin would cause death. I'm gonna prove that. You keep on smoking, you keep on drinking, you keep on not wearing your fringes, you don't want to stop watching porn, you don't want to go. That's gonna lead to your death, man. That goes for brothers out there in the congregation and also in here. If you do not continue to stop sinning, you will die, period. And I'm gonna prove it. Keep on reading.
But he that soweth to the Spirit
that soweth to the Spirit, man. This whole fight is the flesh against the Spirit. He that soweth to the Spirit. How do you sow to the Spirit? When you mortify your deeds, man. You mortify the flesh, your members. You sow into the Spirit. You're saying no. You're sowing a seed to the Spirit. I'm not going to smoke a cigarette. You're sowing a seed to the Spirit. I'm not going to go out and smoke the 3-5. You're sowing a seed to the Spirit. All right, I'm not going to drink this bottle today. You're sowing a seed to the Spirit, man. I'm going to gather with my brothers. You're sowing a seed to the Spirit. Doing the work is sowing the seed, man. Go ahead.
But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
They're going to reap what?
Life everlasting.
That's your payout. Everlasting life, man. So whatever you sow, whatever you work, whatever you put in, your payout is either going to be death, destruction, or it's going to be everlasting life. So just answer, man. Who's signing your check? Who's signing your check at the end of the day? What are you paying? What kind of work are you putting forth? What kind of check are you getting, bro? And who's signing? Are you gonna get a big check? Are you gonna store your treasure in heaven, man? You're gonna do the work. You're gonna keep on storing up your treasures, so your check will be nice and fat, man. Yahweh so I can just go ahead and put that signature on that thing, man. Or you're gonna get that fire. That fire. Yahweh, Most High gonna have to sign. Yeah, he didn't do the works, man. He not going. I'm gonna show you. Give me first Samuel 2 and 3.
Shalakia, we're all here.
Go ahead.
To be terminated is to get fired.
Right.
When you get released from the job,
you fired, man.
You're fired.
Literally.
I still got some more on that.
Go ahead.
Galatians 6 verse 9. And let us not be weary in well doing.
And let us not be weary in well doing. Go ahead.
For in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
In due season. Read that part one more time, Bob.
And let us not be weary in well doing. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
In due season, man. In due season. Read that one more time, Bob. One more time.
And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
In due season. Be not weary, brother. Be not weary. You cannot be doubting yourself. You cannot get tired of this thing. This truth don't get easier, but we get stronger. You gotta learn how to get stronger. Brothers is quick to give out, man, to tap out. Do not grow weary in the truth. And in due season, we shall reap if we faint not. We're gonna reap what we sow in due season when the time is right. This school, we just opened it up, and the due season is gonna ripe, man. In due season. But brothers gotta put in the work and faint not. They gotta stop. They can't weary, man. They gotta do the work. We doing the work. We putting up the YouTube videos. We doing the breakdowns Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, even on a Thursday. Sometimes at work, you gotta go in on your sick day. You gotta go in on your off days. They're gonna call you in on your off day. This is an off day. And we came in and did the work, man. And you might get some overtime. This is that overtime right here, man.
Sign me up.
Who signed that check, man? On a Thursday, man. Doing this work.
So y'all getting overtime.
Overtime, man.
Give me that check.
Get the check, man.
Give me the check.
Get the check.
Y'all, you give me overtime on Thursdays. Give me the check. I'll be in there.
Brothers don't want no overtime, man. They don't want to work.
Verse 10.
Yeah, hit us with the verse 10. Yeah, go ahead.
As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
So the household of faith is you being in the truth. You got to do good, especially to those that's in the truth. Last time I checked, Leviticus 19 verse 17 say, if you don't want to hit your brother, show him his sin and not surface sin upon him.
Come on now.
That's true love. That's looking out for one another.
Come on now.
Brothers is not here to tear each other down. Me, Brother Sirach, Brother Phineas, we're not here to tear nobody down. That's not what our job is. Our job is to lift people up. But in order to be lifted up, sometimes you gotta go down, man. Sometimes you gotta go to a lowest point in order for you to be lifted up, man.
You gotta be humble.
You gotta be humble. Because pride always comes before the fall, man.
Got a precept for that.
Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy?
Right.
Because I tell you the truth?
Right.
So we
read that one more time. I'm sorry.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
How we became your enemy because we told you that you were sinning. That you're not doing the works. You're not going on the right path. How we became your enemy because we told you the truth, man. The answer to that to some brothers is yes, man. Whether we like it or not. We're enemies to some of our brothers, man. Because we choose to go off the words of the Most High. We're enemies now, man. We're enemies now. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12.
1 Timothy. Shalaki, what was that again?
1 Timothy 6 and 12.
6, verse 12.
Go ahead.
Fight the good fight of faith.
Wait. Read that one more time.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12.
Go ahead.
Fight the good fight of faith.
The Bible says fight the good fight of faith, man. It's got to be a good fight. You got to be able to war against your flesh.
Come on now.
It's got to be a good fight, man. Like almost when somebody hits your sister on the street or something, you about to go into a good fight, man. You about to throw some hands. Brothers are not throwing hands spiritually, though, man.
Oh, man. Teach y'all.
Brothers is not throwing no hands spiritually. They're not fighting against no flesh. They're not going up to that flesh and ready to rumble, man. They're not doing that. They letting that flesh get the best of them, man. They letting that flesh get the best of them. You let your flesh get you killed, man. Give me Romans chapter 8, verse 13, man. I got to show them something. I got to show them something.
Romans chapter 8, verse 13.
Bring that out. Watch this.
For if ye live after the flesh.
If you choose to do the things of the flesh, if you choose to live after the flesh, you choose to smoke the cigarettes, you choose to defile your temple, you choose not to gather with your brothers, you choose not to do the work. Go ahead.
Ye shall die.
You shall what?
Ye shall die.
You let the flesh get the best of you, and with that, you're going to get death, man. If you continue to sin, you will die. That's it, man. The scriptures you can't get around that. Ain't no mercy coming in. Mercy is when you're doing the work and you have acceptable works. Acceptable works is not when you give in to your flesh all the time. That's not acceptable to the eyes of the Most High, man. You gotta be able to kill your flesh. You gotta be able to do the works. Once you kill your flesh and you take out the things that's not supposed to you take out the word, the evil in you, you gotta replace it with the spiritual things, man. You got to replace it with doing the precepts, doing the breakdowns, learning, gathering with your brothers. Once you take something out of you, you got to find something to replace it. Because the sin waited around the corner, man. It lurks like a serpent. So that's why it's important for us to lift each other up and come around each other and deal with each other, because this is all we got, man. Who are you going to go to? If you're not with your brothers, who are you going to go to, man? The world? You want to go with the world now, bro? We look at School of Yeshua, man. We got a purpose here. That's to get the kingdom, period. That's our main purpose at this school, to get the kingdom. But brothers have got to understand, it's not going to be an easy fight, man. And not everything is going to be perfect. I'm not saying if you come here, everything is going to be perfect. But we're willing to put in the work that we need to do to uplift each other so we can get there, man. Period. We're not going to, the show must still go on. This school is still going to be here. We're still going to be putting in this work. We have devout men that's going to continue to put in this work. Me, Brother Phineas, we're going to continue to put in this work, even if we got nobody in the classroom right now, man. It's gonna come a time where, like we just read, in due season, we're gonna reap, man. There's gonna come a time when this school gonna be filled up, man. I'm gonna be able to say I was here from the beginning. I was here when nobody was here for class, man. I was still doing a breakdown when nobody was there watching. I'm doing the work and I'm not growing weary. That's what we just read. I'm not growing weary, man. I'm still gonna put in the work. In due season, when the time is right, when Yahweh Shai sees the time is right, when the Most High see I can trust these brothers, he's gonna send forth the sheep, man. And that's the work that we wanted to pull up. If he's sending more work for us to do, man, that's a bigger check. That's a bigger check, man. So brothers have got to continue doing this work, man. Brothers have got to continue doing this work. Give me Philippians chapter 4, verse 3. You had it up? No. Philippians 4 and 3.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 3.
Watch this.
And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which laboreth with me. Is that what you wanted?
Hold on.
In the gospel.
Give me 1 Timothy 4 and 12. We're going to come back to that. 1 Timothy 4 and 12. Shalaki.
Oh, no.
Give me that.
That might have been what you wanted, huh?
Let me pull it real quick.
And help those women which labor with me in the gospel, with Clement also, with the other, my fellow laborers, whose name are in the book of life.
Give me that 1 Timothy. I'm going to check it real quick. Give me that 1 Timothy 4 and 12.
First Timothy 4 and 12.
Yeah.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth.
Right.
But be thou an example of the believers.
You got to be an example of the believers. You got to be an example to these people out here, man. You got to be an example to the people that come in the school. You got to be an example to the outside world. You got to be an example to your family members, your brothers and sisters out there that's talking to you, your friends and family. You got to be an example. You got to let your light shine in darkness, man. Brothers' lights are very dim, man. It almost looks like it's dark in there. Brothers' lights is not shining. They not being no example to no believers. A person's supposed to look at you and tell that you believe in Yahweh Shai by the things that you do. They can just tell. The spirit, man. Continue on with that.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12.
What?
Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers.
You got to be an example of the believer. Go ahead.
In word.
In what?
In word.
You got to be an example to the believer in word. How you say things, what you say. Your words is supposed to be an example. Go ahead.
In conversation.
In your conversation. Whatever you speak about, believe people should look at you and that you won't believe it. If you're still speaking the things of the world, they cannot see your light. How are you going to be an example when you're talking about the 2K all day? When you talk about the NBA Finals all day? When you're talking about that woman that just passed? How you did these women up in the streets? How are you supposed to be an example, man? Your speech is supposed to let others know who you are, man. Go ahead.
I got a translation too. That conversation is also conduct.
In your conduct.
In charity.
Go ahead.
In spirit.
In charity is in love. And in spirit, go ahead.
In faith.
In faith, go ahead.
In purity.
Till
I come.
To what?
Till I come.
When are we supposed to do these things, huh?
Till I come.
Yeah, Howard Shah comes back, we're supposed to be doing these things, man. He's not came back yet, man. So we still got to do the works. Go ahead.
Give attendance to reading.
Right.
To exhortation.
Hold on. We read that too fast. Read that one more time. Buddy.
Give attention to reading.
Give attendance to reading.
Come on, give attendance. Shalakia.
Give attendance to reading. Meaning you must be reading daily, man. You got to be doing that thing in moderation. You got to learn how to manage things out. You should be able to read your Bible. Your 2K time on 2K should not be outweighing your time in the Bible, man. Your time on the TV should not be outweighing your time in His Word. You got to take attendance to reading, man. Go ahead. 13.
Till I come, give attendance to reading.
Go ahead.
To exhortation. To doctrine.
To doctrine. Go ahead.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
Neglect not the gift that the Most High has given you, man. The gift of wisdom. Neglect not wisdom, man. Being able to teach this word. Don't neglect that, man. He's given that to you. He's opened your eyes to this thing. Go ahead.
Which was given thee by prophecy.
It was given thee by prophecy. Go ahead.
With the laying of the hands of the presbytery.
15.
Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
That thy profiting may appear to all. Go ahead. Next verse.
Take heed unto thyself.
Go ahead.
And unto the doctrine.
And unto the doctrine. Go ahead.
Continue in them.
Continue. Wait, you gotta what?
Continue in them.
You gotta continue in this doctrine of life, man. Do not grow weary in this truth. Go ahead.
For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself.
You're going to be able to save yourself. Go ahead.
And them that hear thee.
And them that hear and take attention to them. You being a light to the brothers that hear you in your conversation, you'll be able to save them, man. You'll be able to turn them from their wicked ways, man. But you got to be a light to other nations, a light to these brothers and sisters that's out here. You got to be a light. You mean 1 Timothy,
Add a precept.
Go ahead and bring out a precept.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you.
Right.
Taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being in samples to the flock.
Being what?
In samples.
Examples?
Examples, but yeah, say,
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
To the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
That's a precept of what we just did. You got to feed the flock and be an example to the flock. And when he does come, you'll be a prophet. That last in verse 15 in 1 Timothy 4:15, it says, for thy property may appear to all. That's Yahweh coming back and giving that crown, man. That's your profit. That's you getting that check. He's signing off on that check, man. You got a nice little profit in your hand, man. Brothers got to understand that. Give me Hebrews 13 and 17. Yeah, Hebrews 13, 17.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Obey them that have rule over you.
Wait, read that again.
Obey them that have rule over you.
For them that have guide or rule over you, go ahead.
And submit yourselves.
And do what?
Submit yourselves.
Go ahead.
For they watch for your souls.
And that's what we done to doing, man. We got to watch over the congregation, make sure they're going in the right path. Watching over their souls. Go ahead.
As that must give account. As they that must give account.
Go ahead.
That they may do it with joy.
They do this work with what?
That they may do it with joy.
Go ahead.
And not with grief.
And not with grief. Do not have no grief. Go ahead.
For that is unprofitable for you.
There's no check in that, man. You're not getting no payout in that. There's more in that. 18.
Pray for us. For we trust we have a good conscience and all things willingly to live honestly. But I beseech you the rather to do this, that I may be restored to you the sooner.
That he may be restored to us the sooner.
Now the God of peace that brought again from the dead our Lord Yahushua, that great shepherd of the sheep, through the blood of the everlasting covenant, make you perfect in every good work to do his will.
And make you perfect in every good work to do his will. Go ahead.
Working in you that which is well pleasing in the sight.
So you got to do things that's well pleasing in the eyes of the Most High God and your eyes of Yahweh. Go ahead.
In the well pleasing in the sight of Yahweh. Through Yahweh. To him, to whom be glory forever and ever. Amen.
And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Doing things that's going to be pleasing to the Most High and pleasing to Yahweh. That's the work that you got to put in. That's the work that you got to put in daily. And with that, you'll be able to get that nice little check, man. That nice little storing up your churches in heaven by doing those things, man. Give me one more I wanted to give. Jeremiah 29 and 11. Jeremiah 29 and 11.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11.
What?
For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahweh.
Read that again.
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you,
Go ahead.
saith Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall you call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you.
Go ahead.
And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart.
You got to search for God with all your heart. Yahweh with all your heart. And then you'll be able to find him.
And I will be found of you, saith Yahweh, and I will turn away your captivity.
You're going to turn away your captivity. Go ahead.
And I will gather you from all the nations.
You're going to gather us from all nations. Go ahead.
And from all the places whither I have driven you, saith Yahweh. And I will bring you again into the place where I caused you to be carried away captive.
Right.
Because ye have said that Yahweh has raised up us prophets in Babylon.
This is the prophets right here speaking. Go ahead.
Know that thus saith Yahweh of the king that sitteth upon the throne of David, and all the people that dwell up in this city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth from you into captivity. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like bough figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil.
That's it. Should be Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23. And I think we're going to close out with that.
Proverbs
14 and 23.
14, verse 23.
Let me pull it real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
In all labor, there is profit.
So like I said, this class was titled, Who Will Sign Your Check? Who's signing your check? Proverbs 14:23 says, in all labor there is profit. Go ahead.
but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
So only when you speak of things, it's not going to lead to nothing. Your labor has got to show your profit. It's got to show your works. It's got to show what you're getting. You talking about you want to do this, you talking about you want to do that. That means nothing when you have works behind that. And that's what we got to deal with. I might do a separate class on that alone, about doing the works, period. The works and what it profits. This was going over your payout, what brothers is doing, this what brothers doing on the other side. But I want to do a simple class, a really deep inside class. It might be later on down the road about what it means to do the works, man. Period. Because brothers don't have a good understanding of what it means to do the works. They just hear it. You gotta do works. They don't have a good understanding of what it is and how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. And like I said, we at School of Yeshua, we out here, we're only here to help the people out. We're not here to tear anybody down or to battle anybody or trying to make us see ourselves like we above everybody. We like to set ourselves on high self-esteem. We're not doing that, man. We humble on this thing, man. We're trying to work together with the congregation, with the people. That's all we're trying to do here. So you gotta ask yourself, who's signing your check at the end of the day, man? Who's signing your check? I can't answer that for you, because every man can only find his own salvation. So who's signing your check at the end of the day, man? You have anything you want to say, brother?
You know, brothers just gotta be zealous for the work, man. This is when brothers come into this truth, is that they don't really realize that this ain't a 1 or 2 rounder. This ain't a 3rd round fight. This ain't an amateur fight. Like, when you get into this thing, it's championship fights, man. It's championship rounds. You're gonna have to go into the championship rounds. You're gonna have to endure to the end. This ain't something that you just gonna do a few months and then get over it. Like you falling out of it, it's just gonna make it harder to get back into it. It's just gonna be harder, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just want brothers to be zealous for this law, man. But that's something the Most High has to give to you. And if you're getting pushed out of any congregation, or you feel like you don't feel like doing the work, you need to talk to the Most High. You need to repent and ask forgiveness and ask for the zeal from the Most High. Ask for the understanding to know why you know what I'm saying, you don't really feel like doing it, or why other things are more important. There shouldn't be nothing more important than your salvation. There shouldn't be nothing more important than doing this work. Right. You know what I'm saying? And storing those heavenly treasures, looking upon those things that are in heaven rather than on earth. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We concern ourselves more so, 6 days of the week. He gave you 6 days.
He only asking for one.
He only asking for one, He only asking for one, man. You know what I'm saying? And he gave you 6 days to get everything else in order.
Right.
That 7th day, man. Matter of fact, give me that in Leviticus 23:3.
The book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation.
That holy convocation, man, that means a holy assembly. It is a holy assembly. Keep going.
It is, you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. There are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
There are holy convocations and holy congregation that you got to proclaim in their seasons, man. It's a sin not to gather, man. It's a sin to be an individual life. It's a sin to sit at home and not gather with your fellow brethren. I don't care where you gather. You have to gather here. But you still need to gather with some brothers, or gather amongst, some like-minded brothers, and y'all keep your mind on the Most High, and not have any of your conversation, any of your thoughts on your own pleasures. A lot of brothers like to take the Sabbath off to go bowling and shoot pool and watch college football all day. That's not what that's about. You'll be in sin, and you'll be falling deeper and deeper into the world, not even knowing it. You said you had something, Mom?
Yeah. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yet gather together, O nation that desire. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass of the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Give me that Hebrews 10:24. Did we bring that out? And that's milk, man. That's the milk. That's the milk. Keep that Sabbath. Keep the Sabbath day holy, man. Keep the Sabbath day set apart. That's milk, man. That's milk. That's milk. Berashit. That's in the beginning, man. You learned that. It's from the first things you learned. Come on,
The Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 24. Let us consider one another to provoke unto love and into good works.
Let's provoke one another into love, into keeping these law and good works. I gotta provoke you. We gotta provoke each other to keep doing this work, man, and do it good and do it with thy might. When you do something, do the go out here and to do something, anything, do it with all thy might, man. Don't be half doing it. Don't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You said you got something?
Yeah, there's more.
Keep going.
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together. That holy convocation. Come on.
As the manner of some is.
As the manner of some of y'all do. Come on.
But exhorting one another.
Exhorting one another. Come
and
on.
So much the more as ye see the day approaching.
And you looking at the signs of the times. You seeing the days approaching. That's what y'all supposed to be building each other up on. It's like, man, we get closer. We getting closer, brothers. California on fire. We getting closer.
I got another one.
They have flame NATOs in California. We getting closer. East Coast is flooding. We getting closer. It's supposed to rain 10 days out here in Georgia. We getting closer, brothers. Trees falling down. Bears eating white people. Come on, man. We getting closer. Deuteronomy 32:24. The animals out here just having a massacre on Esau, man. The button has been activated. It was a blood moon Sabbath, man. Come on now. You're not really watching for the signs of the times. You don't really see that this thing we getting closer to the end of this thing, man. And that's what you're supposed to be exhorting each other and cheering each other on, man. To keep enduring, man. We on that last lap. You had something?
James chapter 5, verse 17, verse 16. Confess your faults one to another.
Confess your faults one to another, man. Come on.
And pray for one another.
And pray for one another.
That ye may be healed. The affectional fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. And
that prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So you can't be running away from a righteous man. If you know a righteous man and a righteous man rebukes you, you need to confess your sins to that righteous man so he can pray for you. Because his prayers availeth much. They avail much. But too, man, to become that righteous man, that righteous man has been through those things that you've been through. He sat where you sat. He knows what level you're on. You can't really trick him like that. You may think you could get something over on him, but he knows because he already been through it. He knows the levels. If you haven't beat this certain sin, you definitely still doing this one. Because it's a process, man. A man of God steps are ordered by the Lord, man. It's a process. It's steps. So you know what step you're at. You know what I'm saying? So just be honest with brothers. You know what I'm saying? Be able to take the rebuke and have that brother pray for you. Because the prayers of a righteous brother availeth much. You had anything else on that?
That was it.
But you know what I'm saying? We want to just keep, you know what I'm saying, keep drilling and keep drilling and keep drilling. But it's necessary. It is necessary. It is necessary. And understand that we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the work. The work gonna get done. The work's gonna get done. That's one thing you don't have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all willing them here. Y'all willing to rock here. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? And you know, if we need to rebuke us. But it gotta be through script, man. Make sure it's through the oracles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's through the oracles. And that's love, man. Brothers got to understand that is love. We do love y'all brothers. We do love you sisters. But we have to be an example. We have to be a light to the flock. We We have to be a light to the flock, man. You can't invite the flock in and you're dim. It goes back to the parable of the 5 virgins. A lot of brothers' lamps that ran out. A lot of sisters' lamps that ran out. You had a good start. You were burning that oil. That oil. You know what I'm saying? You used the oil recklessly. You used the oil recklessly, and it burned out. And you got to get back amongst your brothers, man, and amongst like-minded people, amongst your sisters, and so you can retrieve some of that oil, man. So you can get your lamp, back lit and be a light to this world. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it for the world. Don't do this work for the world. See, that'll make you grievous you, and that'll come out. That'll end up happening. Where if you're doing it for the world, if you're doing it for Facebook, if you're doing it for social media, if you're doing it for your friends, if you're doing it to pretend, that's gonna come out. That's how you're gonna get grievous. That's how you're gonna get weary and faint in this work. Because it takes a lot of work to pretend. It's hard to pretend.
Dang.
It's hard, man. It's hard to take them Facebook pictures and you gotta throw it at this angle and throw it at that. It's hard to get out there and fake profit and pretend profit. It's hard to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? And that is gonna take a lot out of you. Because righteous brothers are gonna be like, man, come on, man, what you doing? You need to come on out here. What you doing, man? And you're like, man, I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? You know, but this ain't my work. This ain't Samara work. This ain't the room work. This the Most High's work. He's the one hire and fire. I can't hire you. I can't fire you. That's for him to do. He does that. You weary in it, he did that. You left the school, he did that. It wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that also, man. And we gotta be zealous for this thing, man. I wanna state too, man, while we here, man. It's gonna be a total revamp. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a total revamp in the school, man. So
reset.
Yeah, it's gonna be a reset. It's necessary, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of things were just done out of zeal and not order. We just so zealous. We thought that, you know what I'm saying, we didn't try to friend. We didn't prove a friend, man. Ciroc 6, we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? We proved a friend, but we didn't prove the faith, man. We didn't examine ourselves. We didn't examine each other, man, to see if brothers is really truly about this walk, man, in this truth, man. So, and to see, could they endure? We didn't know that. It's just a learning experience, man. It's just a learning experience. But there is gonna be there's gonna be a reset, brothers. It's gonna be order. It definitely will be order.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's gonna be beneficial for everybody. So it's not a lot of confusion, and everybody has to know their place, man. And everything has to be done decently in order, right? 1 Corinthians 14:40. So, you got anything else, brother?
No, that's it. You covered it.
All right. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.